We have started recording. Let me see if recording is working. Yep. Now let me go to your computer, and now can you see we have associated a function library from another test case. Now how I did it, I right click on here the solution and then associate function library, and then I navigated where my function library is and I associated it. Now how do I associate object repository? If you will run this, you will see there will be an error. Welcome Mercari Tools browser, because you use that browser from the object repository, but you do not have that object repository associate. To associate the object repository, you will have to click on action, and from there, let's say I have this object repository, right? So I'm going to associate it. Now you will see there is a object repository here, and if you have that object in that object repository, you will not see that error. Let me see if I have that object. If I have associated the right object repository, I'm going to run it again. So still this is not the right repository. Our objects are not in that repository. So let me see where is his repository, if he has any.
It's the one that says 18, the other one.
Which one, brother?
Let me see, I can show it to you.
Okay. Now click on action, right click on action.
Action?
Right click on here,
okay,
brother.
sorry.
Yeah, right click on this action. Oh, I can see some repository here, brother. Hold on. If you go through that
Okay,
side.
yeah, that's the one. This is the one, yeah. This one, yeah.
Now this login logout, we do not need it. We're gonna remove it. Now if you execute it, okay, so now you have seen that it was able to identify the object, right, Munir bhai?
Yes, yes.
You understood, right?
Right,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, great. Okay, let me start sharing my screen because I have some topics to cover. It will be another probably half an hour.
You said we was going to half an hour go through one?
Yeah, another half an hour.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
I'm going to work like around 12 or so.
Okay, I'll take another half an hour. Now, brothers,
Thank you.
we have discussed in the last class, we have discussed like how you can, verify if an Excel exists in your computer, right? And then if this file not exist, then you can, add a workbook in it, and then you can select a worksheet where you want to work, and then you can save some data, and then you are saving it as, right? So instead of saving it as in that way, I can give like this file path. I can give this file path here, and then if the file already exists, then it will come here, right? It will come here, and then it will do something. It will open that file. Can you see what is the statement we have used to open that file? It will open that file, and in the worksheet it will write some data, right? Let's say I'm going to write one more row here. So I'm going to write on 4.1 and 4.2. I'm going to write here. Right? Let's say his age is 16. Okay. Now, so what is the path? Right? We are verifying this path. In this path, this is the path, right? This is the path. And what is the file? Test Excel. Can you see I'm copying that path? First you will have to verify that you have this path, you have this path in your computer. Can you see I have this path in the computer, and then in the path I'm going to verify if I have this test Excel. Okay. Now if I execute this, right, I have a breakpoint here in line number 13. You will see. Papa, I'm working. Okay, so if you execute it, Papa? Okay. So if you execute it now, so if I had the Excel open, let me close it. Okay. Now take a look here. What we are doing in line number 14, we are checking if this file path exists. File path means the whole thing, if it exists. If it not exists, then it will come line number 15. If it exists, then it will go to line number 33. Yeah, if it exists, then it will go to line number 33. So let me do this. So as this file exists, can you see it is coming to line number 33, and now it will be opening that file. Can you see by line number 34 we are opening that file? If you take a look here, can you see it has opened that file that we have in the computer, and then it will write some data into that file, and finally save it and exit out from this. Okay. Now if I go to that location, can you see we saved it. Now here if you open this Excel file, let me see if I can open this Excel file, test Excel. So if I open this Excel file, can you see the latest data we have written? This guy. So data is there. That means we have written the data into Excel. Now, so we already discussed this script in the last class. Let me bring another script that I want to discuss today. So if you go to this 2 we have discussed, check if a file exists and write data into it. Let me see what I have in that one. So if you come here, probably this is the same thing that we already have discussed. So we are good with this. Now one thing new here, brothers, please take a look.
Okay.
So if this file exists, right? If this file exists, then what we are doing, something new here. Let me discuss it because I can see something new here. Miscellaneous function library, I will have to associate it. Let me associate this function library because this is something that I need to show you. New tools automation. So this, let me see if I have this miscellaneous function library. Let me see where it is. So it is located miscellaneous. Papa? Okay. Miss UFT tutorials function libraries. Papa? Okay. Now guys, can you take a look at that? We have this function library in UFT tutorials function libraries. Now when I'm trying to execute this test case, right, you will see, can you see missing function library? We have some function, right? We have some function that we used in this one. Now this function library is not associated, so what I'll have to do, I'll have to associate this function library. So somewhere in my computer it is in this folder, UFT tutorials, and then function libraries, and then this is the miscellaneous function library. Okay, now if you execute it, so let's see if it is able to do that. It is doing that, and then it is opening the Excel, and then it is going to, let's see what it does. So it is whatever data we have. Can you see how it is reading this data? We have data in the Excel, and then it is reading those data from Excel. And can you see here, it was able to print all of the data here.
How do you do that?
Yeah, I'll give you more information on it, but before that let me do something. Let me delete this file. So what is that path again? Let me upload this path. Okay. So let me delete this Excel, and then now I'll put a breakpoint here, right? As I have deleted that file, what will happen now? It will not get the file, and it will go to line number 11 where we will be writing data. I'll tell you.
It's not will be created automatically if you don't have the file.
If the file is not there, UFT will be created. Yeah.
Right. Yes.
Now let's take a look where we are. We are in line number 10. So first we are checking if this file path exists. What is the file path? UFT tutorials, use of Excel in UFT test excel.xls. So we are asking it, can you see if we have this file? Now we are in line number 10. Give it a little bit time. What is this? Okay. So here still I'll give it a little bit more time. So my it seems like it is hanged. My UFT is not responding. I'm just closing it and then I'll open it back.
So I'm guessing that your UFT trial versions normally have this problem responding, or sometimes issue. But in the real world, the company that you work with, they give you the UFT version or the app download.
When you work in a company, they will give you software, licensed software.
Oh. License.
Yeah.
So I just I'm curious about the real world. As an entry people like us in the beginning, or when you started, was it do you feel nervous, like were you trained? Okay.
Yeah. So what we are doing here, let me explain it again. It will be easier for you. Let me explain it again. I'm going to delete this file again. So this file I'm going to delete it again. Then it will create it again. Right? And then if I execute it, right? Okay, now what we are doing here, we are checking if this file exists. At this point this file doesn't exist, so it will be going there, it will be creating an workbook, and then in the first, right now we do not have anything here, right? But it is going to write something. If I execute this, you will be seeing that in cell 11 we have a student name, and in cell 12 it will be writing age, right? So this is where new thing, timestamp. Can you see? To generate timestamp, we are calling a function. So inside that function, what we did, can you see in the local variable, when you execute line number 3, it is bringing current year. When you execute line number 4, it is bringing current month and current day. And all of this day, normally when we write date, it is 08/05/2017, but it is bringing only the integer part. It is not bringing 0. So after we get everything, we will be formatting it. Can you see here? So we got month, day, year, hour, minute, everything, second. Now we are getting the second. Okay.
So now, if condition is to put them into 0, like say in correct format, 01, 05, something like that, alright?
Yeah, if month is less than 10, then we need to add a 0 to make it 08, right?
Okay.
So that's why we are doing the comparison. And can you see right now it is int, month is int. Can you see right now it is integer? But when you are adding a 0, can you see it is a string? When you are adding a string with this month, what is the value of current month? 8. When you are adding a string 0, then I'll tell you, I'll show you. Can you see now int month? What is that? It is 08. It is a string. Can you see this? So the similar way.
What?
Okay, what is the question?
It's not an integer. It's not being a string. It's not an integer.
What?
I think it's an integer. Why make it a string? It's not being an integer. It's 0, like 01. It's not an integer.
Oh, basically, look at this, brother. So when I am adding that 0 before a number, you cannot add a 0 before a number. You can do it only if it is a string.
Okay.
Okay? You understood?
Yeah, I understand.
So whenever you want to type something in computer with 08 in Excel, you will not be able to do that. You will be able to do that only if you add double quotation, if you make it a string. Okay?
That's clear.
Okay. Then we are doing the same thing for day, right? And second. So what is the current value of second? Is 1, right? So again it will be making it 01, right? And then can you see we are combining all of these variable, int year, and then we are putting a dash, int month, and then we are putting a dash, int day, and then we are putting a space, and then we are adding hour, minute, second. You will see. Can you see now generate timestamp is a full timestamp? Does it make sense?
Yes. Generate timestamp. You put everything into one function.
One variable.
One variable. Sorry.
Now we are returning this value to the main. Like this function, we are calling it from where? This function we are calling it from action, right? Generate timestamp. We are calling this function from action, from line number 24. Now we want to return the timestamp from that function. So if you want to return something from a function, you will have to write it function name equal to whatever you want to return. You will have to put it function name equal to this. Then it will be returning. Now if you take a look here, right? If you take a look in cell this, we have written that timestamp, right? And then I will be executing the remaining part. Now if you come here, if you refresh here, can you see this Excel? If you open this Excel, you will see that you have two timestamp, two data with two timestamp. Can you see? We have two data with two timestamp, 1041, 1045. So I explained it twice. Now do you have any questions so far?
That's it. So I have to go now. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I will continue like let's say 4 or 5 minutes, but I will send you the video. Alright. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we are going to, now this file is exist, so what we are going to do, we are going to read data from that Excel file. So how we are going to read data from that Excel file, I'll show you. Okay, so we are saying if this file exists, right, this file, this time this file exists, so we are going to open it, right? Can you see? Now we have, instead of writing anything, we have opened that previously created file. And then what we are going to do, we have a couple of more things. We are asking Excel sheet dot use range dot rows dot count. We are asking in how many rows we have data. By this we are asking in how many rows we have data, right? So in how many rows we have data, Munir bhai? 1, 2, 3. In 3 rows we have data. Now if you go to your local variables, right, you go to your local variables, you will see when we have, can you see Excel sheet rows count, number of rows, where is my variable number? Okay, now here we are going to get the number of rows. Can you see how many number of rows I have? 3, right? We have 3 rows of data. Now we are doing a for loop for 1, 2, 3, and we are, can you see Excel sheet dot cells 1 dot value. Initially the value of I is 1, and then it is going to print, it is going to bring the data, what is the value of I1. So Excel sheet dot cell 11 dot value. So we are printing whatever value we have in cell 1. Can you see student name in cell 11? In cell 11 we have student name, cell 12 we have age, cell 13 we have time, cell 21 we have name, cell 22 we have age, cell 23 we have the time stamp. So we are going to bring each and everything from that Excel sheet and we are going to print it. Okay, and then we are going for row 2. In the row 2 we have the original names, age, time stamp. Can you see everything we are bringing from the, for I equal to 1, 2, 3 we are bringing everything from Excel, and then when all the data is brought, and then we are saving it, and then we are exiting out. You understood, Munir bhai?
Yes.
Okay. So do you have any questions so far what we did?
Not right now.
Okay, so I am recording. I'll be sending you the recording. Let me open the next file. I have another file here. Read data from it. So we have write data into an Excel. We have read data from an Excel, and check if file exists and add data with existing, right? So for that I'm going to open it and I'll show you something real quick, and then our session will be done for today. Okay, so what we are doing here, we are doing the same thing, but here we are adding some more data. Like if the file exists, whatever data, can you see, first we are reading, if the file exists we are opening the file, and then we are selecting the worksheet, and then we are asking how many rows we want to input, and then we are counting how many rows we have currently in the Excel, and then we are asking, let's say we have 3 rows of data, and then we have input, let's say another, we want to add another 2 rows of data, right? So we are adding 3 plus 2, how many rows? It will be 5 rows. And then what we are, yeah, then what we are doing here, I equal to, can you see number of existing rows, number of number of existing rows, let's say we have 3, right? And then 3 plus 1, 4. In the fourth row we are taking something from input and saving it in the 4th row, and then when 4th row is saved, we are doing it for the 5th row. When 5th row is done, we are doing it for the 6th row. Let me execute it, that will make more sense. Okay, so here can you see it has opened the previously created Excel. Munir bhai, in that Excel how many rows we have? 3, right? Now can you see it is asking enter how many new rows you want to insert. Let's say I want to insert another 2 rows, right? Another 2 rows. Now it is asking enter a name. Let's say I want to input name. Let's say what is the age? 40. And then let's say what is the time stamp it will generate. Can you see?
So you want to like a 2 row, right?
Yeah, 2 row. 1 row we have already written Munir 40 and the time stamp. Now it is going for the next row, right? Enter name. Let's say this name we want to input what? Let's say okay, and then his age, let's say 45, and timestamp, right? Now it is, can you see after adding 2 rows it didn't loop anymore, right? And it is now exiting out, but I will show you what it did for us. If you go there, if you open that Excel, now you will see how many rows of data we have now. We have, can you see, we have 1 2 3 4 5 rows of data, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, now if I execute it again, if I execute it again, now can you see it is asking how many rows you want to input now. Currently how many rows we have? 1 2 3 4 5, right? Now let's say I want to input another 3. Okay, now it will be asking, okay, enter the name. Let's say I want to input Ray, and what is age? Let's say 19. And then if you take a look here, can you see at the end it has added another row for Ray. And then if you, let's say you input now you input this, and what is the name, what is the age? Let's say age is 12, and then it will generate. Now if you go there, you'll be seeing it has added Dolly. And then if you, how many rows we have selected? 3, right? Now it will be adding another row. Let's say this name is, and what is the age? Let's say 29, and after adding 3 rows it is going to exit out, and if you now go and open this file, right, you will see that another 3 rows there. So what I will say,
I have a question is like what is like showing like a same date like 2017-085. What is showing same?
what? I didn't get it.
Like because we put it over there. Go back over there.
Mhm.
It is like this date is showing like 29, but from like a time stamp is being over here, like 2017-08-05. It's from time stamp, right? Okay.
So we are adding this data, but timestamp is being generated by this function. Can you see we have called this function here?
Yes.
So timestamp is being generated by this function. So we have already explained how this function works, right?
Right.
So was I able to answer your question, Munir?
Yes.
Okay. So you go through and I'll send you the recording. If you have any question, let me know. Otherwise, whatever we did today, make sure your new tools test case 1 to 3 is ready, and this 2 what we did today is ready in your computer. That's all.
Okay.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. I'll talk to you
Thanks.
later. Bye.